Hey, what's the deal? That's your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag. You know what I mean? As of this recording, it is July 3rd, 2026, 7:52 p.m. You know what I mean? But the upload time to this is definitely going to be 11:30 p.m. You know what I mean? I honestly did not know what I wanted to speak about tonight. You know, I kind of was stuck, you know what I mean, into what kind of discussion I was going to bring up. Because there's really no news. Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing sensational. Like the things that's sensational is, Zilla Fatu getting ready to start with, he has a start date soon. I said, damn, it's raining a motherfucker. I hope it don't rain. But then again, if it does, I'm not surprised. You know what I mean? Like, Queens, right now in Queens, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's power outages like a motherfucker in Queens, bro. South Ozone Park, Richmond Hill, Howard Beach is crazy. You know what I mean? Oh, damn. See a pic of Foxy Brown. Damn, Foxy Brown will always be my crush. Goddamn. But, I didn't know what I wanted to talk about, right? Until I seen something with Sami Zayn. And it didn't really drive me over the edge. I'm not upset, but if this thing would have happened, I would have been disappointed if what I'm about to tell you would have happened. You know what I mean? Because according to Fightful, and Sean Ross Pussy, right? I don't like that motherfucker. I don't hate him. I just don't like the way he come off and shit. There was a rumor that was debunked about Sami Zayn, right? Dropping the WWE Championship to Brock Lesnar, right? So let me find the report. Okay, so this is courtesy of Ringside News. According to Fightful, there have been some pessimism about Sami potentially losing the undisputed WWE Championship to Brock Lesnar before SummerSlam, but that does not appear to be WWE's plan. So basically, there was a rumor going around that Sami was going to, drop the strap to Brock, right? In order for Brock to face Oba at SummerSlam, right? Because remember, Oba wins King of the Ring, right? This bitch is crazy. What the fuck? Oba won King of the Ring, right? Oba Femi is the new King of the Ring. But he decided to forego his championship. Yeah, I'm gonna go around that. He decided to forego his championship for a match against Brock at Hell in a Cell, right? And so, hold on, let me let this thing go by. Hold on. Yeah, sorry about that. It was a fucking ambulance. But remember, he decided to forego his shot for the WWE Championship against, for a match against Brock Lesnar, in the Hell in a Cell at Mania. Fucking talking about at SummerSlam, right? I mean, listen, I think Oba could get a title shot at any time because legally he has a title shot. He has a shot at any championship legally. Not because he won King of the fucking Ring, right? So, but this notion that Sami was gonna just be a transitional champion, and it would have been fucking stupid, by the way. It would have been dumb because you just crowned someone new into the scene, not the scene, but someone new into the WWE Championship scene, the title holder scene, just to put, to put Brock over, to make it a WWE Championship match in a Hell in a Cell against Oba Femi. That doesn't make sense. And then I'm seeing rumors about a video that's been floating around, right? That Triple H was not happy, that he didn't look happy at Sami winning the WWE Championship. I seen the video. It's like, all right, whatever, But here's my thing, right? That would have been fucked up if that was gonna be the plan, right? For Sami to just drop the WWE Championship to Brock, and it would have been Brock and Oba. It would have been fucked up. It wouldn't have made sense creatively because, okay, I understand that people want to fast track Oba to a superstar. I mean, look, Oba is, damn, that's just going by quick. Fuck. Car's just speeding down. I understand, like, you know, Oba's going to be he's the next big thing, right? Oba is your next big star, okay? But to give him the WWE Championship already, it wouldn't have made sense. It doesn't make fucking sense. It doesn't make sense. You know, and then to do this to Sami. Now, I mean, with Sami having even had, you know, time to even enjoy the championship, right? It wouldn't have made fucking sense either. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You know, but again, there was a rumor floating around, right? You know, but the thing is, who does, like I said, who goes after Sami for the WWE Championship? That's the ultimate question, right? And listen, there's two nights of SummerSlam this year, right? So maybe he might not get night one, but night two, maybe he might get. I don't know. Honest to God, I do not fucking know. I don't fucking know. You know? But I think it would have been real dumb creatively for WWE to even pull some dumb shit like that. Oh, well, we're only going to give it to Sami for 60 days. I mean, for 30 days. Right? For 30 days. And then we drop it to fucking, you know, to Brock. To make the match with him and Oba a little bit more sensational. Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Okay, hold on. Let me try to...
You know, it doesn't make sense because, again, like, you know, it would have been everything would have been a waste. Everything would have been a fucking waste for, you know, for Sami just to win it when, you know, what's his face? Cody could have held on to it against, you know, Sami and Gunther. You know what I mean? And then he probably would have defended it against Punk. Because I think that's the rumor. That's the rumor. That's the rumor that is being aimed at right now. Punk and Cody at SummerSlam. Makes sense. Because we know there's a lot of fucking history. The AEW history. You know what I mean? Hold on real quick. Yeah, my fault about that. You know what I mean? I had to pause because there's mad people out here. But again, it wouldn't have made sense. You know what I mean? It wouldn't have made sense. But, you know, the AEW history between Cody and Punk. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I'm glad that this was debunked. Because again, it doesn't make sense. What do you do with Sami? I don't fucking know. Yeah, you got to give him an opponent for SummerSlam, right? You have to, because this is how I see it. Okay, how I see it is Gunther, Nick Aldis. Speaking of which, the original plan was supposed to be Nick Aldis not Nick Aldis, Royce Keys and Gunther for SummerSlam. Now, I mean, that's completely taken off the table. Now it's, oh shit. Now it's Nick Aldis and Gunther. The reason why I said all shit is because I felt the drop. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, like, I think it would have, you know, it would have been fucking dumb. But you got Punk and Cody, right? It would have been Punk and Cody. Oh shit, it looked like it is gonna rain. Oh boy. Punk and Cody, you know, Roman and Seth, Brock and Oba at Hell in a Cell. You know what I mean? So that's the card right now. And fucking Io and Liv for thing, right? Io and Liv. But yeah, I mean, look, you know, creative wise, so you got to make sense on certain things, but you have to. You know, letting Sami win the WWE Championship and then him giving it up already. We haven't even fucking smelled the roses with the fucking championship. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any fucking sense. You know, like I said, it would have been stupid creatively. It would have been a waste of time. You know what I mean? And then here's the other thing that nobody seems to realize. Okay, Oba will be WWE champion, right? Then what? You know? It doesn't make sense. I'm going to cut this off because I think it is going to pour. You know what I mean? So I'm going to definitely holler at Shamayana. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm I'm not, because tomorrow is July 4th. You know what I mean? I'm going to be celebrating. I will be recording some footage, but I'm going to be celebrating the 4th of July with Mama Tag. I'm going to be recording stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm going to definitely holler at y'all on Sunday. All right, I'm going to check y'all. Peace.